Hey besties, and thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and welcome if you are new. I've seen a few of you guys asking me for an updated my perfume collection video, and you ask, you shall receive. I have been putting it off just a little bit because y'all, as exciting as it is, it's also very tedious. It takes a lot of time, just not even like the talking about it part. I love that, but even the editing, I'm probably gonna put the notes on every single like fragrance. That's gonna take a while, and ultimately I have a big collection. I don't have the biggest collection ever, but I do have a good amount, and I do like to quickly, briefly talk about each perfume just a little bit, which adds to how long the video is, as you guys know. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please do me a favor and leave it a like down below, because like I said, it takes a long time to put these out, and I'm hoping maybe either by tonight or even by tomorrow morning I will have this video up for you guys. And if you guys also have fragrances you want to recommend to me, you see my kind of taste in fragrances, and you think I'd like a fragrance in your collection, leave me down below all your recommendations. I'm always down to try new perfumes. Let's get into it. Let's start with my Parfums de Marly fragrances, beginning with Delina. Delina is a gorgeous rose, lychee, rhubarb fragrance. This is so beautiful, and I really also get that note of peony that to me just evokes femininity in the fragrance. I love this so much. The rhubarb is definitely not for everybody, but if you can get with it, it is a beautiful, fresh, fruity, floral that I absolutely love, and easily my favorite rose fragrance in my entire collection. The performance on this is also so beautiful, and I picked for this whenever I want to feel like a pretty woman. Then Delina Exclusive to me kind of feels like the older, more luxurious sister. It's not quite as feminine, it's a little bit more sexy. You're having that creamy vanilla at the base with that beautiful oud wood, so it's rose, it's woody, still hints of that lychee, which is so delicious within the fragrance. You're still getting Delina, but think of a more kind of hot and heavy type of version. This is beautiful for dates and beautiful for colder weather. And finally, Delina La Rosée is the more aquatic, fresh, still fruity floral, but just very beautiful and easy to take in, perfect for everyday Delina. Like, this one is no fuss. You don't have to think about it. You put it on and you just smell amazing. I think this one would be the most likable. Oh, I love, love, love the lychee and the rose in this fragrance. You really do get that fresh, aquatic vibe, and it is so beautiful. This one might have the biggest dent. Oriana is delicious. If you do love gourmand fragrances that do have a little bit of like a fresh, musky feel, this one is perfect. It opens up, and let me go ahead and put this one on. You get a blast of citrus, you get that orange blossom, but then you're also getting this really delicious whipped cream alongside a powdery, fluffy marshmallow. This is gorgeous. And did I mention the raspberry note in the fragrance? Because it's so delicious. I absolutely love this. And on the dry down, it does have a musky feel to it. So it's not like super syrupy sweet like Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. There's something a little more refined about this fragrance that for me does help me kind of justify the price point just a little bit more. And I will be sharing a dupe later on that is similar to this one. Then whenever I want my mood to be uplifted, I love Parfums de Marly Cassili. I call this one of my happy fragrances because it is just so joyful. It opens up and you do get a blast of the fruits. This has plum, red currant, and it dries down and you have some of the most beautiful powdery florals ever. You have frangipani, Petalia, mimosa, rose. Like, this fragrance almost has kind of like a tropical vibe too. It's so beautiful for everyday wear. And again, whenever you want to feel uplifted, this is just so gorgeous. Next up are my Bond number 9s. I have Greenwich Village and also Tribeca, and both people say do smell similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. I kind of feel like this one is a fresher, more citrusy version. Like this one truly to me would be perfect for spring and summer, and it's almost a little aquatic coming from the water lily. This is so beautiful, but they both have that kind of like ambroxan feel to them, so I do understand why, and that subtle sweetness. I think this one also has praline, so I can understand why people do relate the two, but I do feel like they are different. And I think this one also has lychee. Is it lychee or lychee? Let me know down below. But next, this one is my Tribeca, and to me Tribeca is very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540 for sure, but it's just the more cozy, nutty, sweet version, and I absolutely adore it. We have 4 fragrances from Juliet Has a Gun, starting with the iconic Not a Perfume. This one has a main note of Cedilox, and essentially it's supposed to smell different on every single person. Like it's not going to smell the same on you as it would on me, most likely. And even on some days it'll smell a little bit different on your own skin than on others. So I really love this one. It kind of gives like that clean, laundry, fresh vibe that I really love for just every day, and perfect for Sunday mornings. Just Sundays in general, or even days you're out running errands. Pear Ink, this one's a little more exciting. It's a refreshing pear fragrance, very similar to God is a Woman, but this one does last longer. Then Juliet Has a Gun, Lust for Sun. I love this one because I feel like it truly does transport you to the beach, sand in your toes, maybe you're drinking a drink for some reason. I always feel that way when I smell the fragrance, and you're just having the time of your life making memories on the beach. You really get the white florals, you also get the ylang ylang, the coconut. It's kind of like a suntanny type of fragrance. As it dries down though, it does get a little bit quieter and closer to the skin, and kind of reminds me more of like a sunset. Like when everything is kind of subsided and you're relaxing, and that walk back to the car. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Then Ode to Dullness is the perfect combination of cashmere wood and also musk. I feel like this is very, very beautiful and cozy, spicy, woody, so beautiful. And when you wear it, you kind of feel like you're wearing a fuzzy sweater. It's so lovely. I have a full video going through all my Skylar fragrances. I will link that down below if you guys are interested. So I'm just gonna breeze through each. This one is Soul Air. This one truly does give me like beach girl or beach guy vibes. It opens up and it's kind of like astringent a little bit. I feel like the fragrance overall, it's salty, but it's more than that. Like you get the seaweed, I think there's driftwood, and it's like very photorealistic of what Soul Air would smell like at the beach. It's not like the pretty parts. You know, Ocean de Joya, we'll talk about that in a little bit. That one's like all the pretty parts of the ocean. This gives you all like the nitty gritty. Like we're not just giving you the salt, we're giving you the minerals, we're giving you the driftwood, the seaweed, we're giving you the full ocean experience, and we're bringing it to shore, you know? Lime Sands is definitely my least favorite because sometimes I get margarita and others I get Mr. Clean, okay? It is very, very citrusy. I just sprayed it, so yeah, sometimes I get that really heavy cleaning product citrus smell, but then others I feel like when I do wear it with a vanillic body cream to really pull that out, it's a little bit more wearable and better. I feel like I could envision myself going to like my favorite Mexican restaurant, getting margaritas, and just having a fun time with my girlfriends. I think they think I smelled pretty cool, but I just have to say it's not going to be for everybody, and sometimes it's definitely not for me on certain days. Then Boardwalk Delight is one of my favorite cotton candy fragrances. It's a bit aquatic. It has beautiful notes like guava blossom, raspberry, apple. Oh my goodness. Every single time I smell this, I get so happy, and this is very nostalgic to me. There's also some coconut milk. Everything about this I love. It kind of has that dryer sheet base that helps with the longevity. It's so good. Peach Fields is a beautiful, pretty girl fragrance. Super fruity, super woody, perfect for every day. Can't go wrong with it. And Coconut Cove is one of my favorite summertime fragrances. This is definitely more of like an upscale type of summer fragrance. It's not super suntanny, and I love it because it kind of gives vibes of Tom Ford Soleil Blanc with that beautiful creamy coconut alongside that spicy cardamom. Another pretty girl fragrance, to be honest. And Capri Summer smells like juicy citrusy fruits. I also have a travel of Peach Fields and a travel of Vanilla Sky. Vanilla Sky is a delicious creamy cappuccino. This one also is very warm and citrusy. There's also a note of cedar that you do pick up from the fragrance, so it does have some wood at the base. But more than anything, it's a very, very warm, sweet, creamy coffee fragrance. I love this so much. I definitely need to get a full bottle at some point. I do have a full video going through my Kaylee fragrances and also ranking them, so I'm just gonna tell you what I have. Starting with Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli. This is for if you want to make a statement, if you want to smell delicious and also very complex. We have Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. This one is fun, uplifting. It is very juicy and kind of candy-like berries, and they just came out with a flanker that I cannot wait to get my hands on. Then Kayali's The Wedding Silk Santal, which is super exciting. This is super bubbly, ethereal, just smells like a very gorgeous woman, honestly. So many of these little minis. We have Vanilla 28, of course. Delicious Brown Sugar Vanilla. Utopia Vanilla Cocoa, another floral coconut fragrance done absolutely right. This one is also very expensive smelling and I love it. We have Citrus. Deja Vu White Flower, which smells like a pretty woman. Musk 12, which smells very fresh and clean but with a bit of sweetness. One of my favorite musky fragrances. Then Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, which smells very, very, very expensive, y'all. Very expensive and very niche. And the bottle to this one, the big bottle, is gorgeous. Then I got 3 of 4 of the Oud collection. We have Rose Oud, Cafe Oud, and also Vanilla Oud. And I have the little travel versions of Eden Juicy Apple. The moment I got this, you guys, I ordered the big one because I just loved it so much. There's something so addictive about it, even though it's not super complex smelling. Then I also have the travel of Yum Pistachio Gelato, which is so delish. Then Kilian, my Kilian fragrances, Princess, which is my favorite citrus, marshmallow, green tea fragrance ever. This one is perfect for year round. It's not too gourmand, it's not too fresh. It's just a beautiful in between, perfect for every single day. And if I had to restart my whole entire collection, this would be the first I re-added. Then the Eau Fraiche version, which to me, this one definitely did hone in on the citrus. It's just not super long lasting and it's not very good in projection. So obviously it's gonna be lighter. I feel like if it's gonna be this much lighter, it could be a little more affordable in my humble opinion, but it's still gorgeous. And I feel like if I kiss Angel Share's butt anymore, y'all are gonna think I'm sponsored or paid or something. This is delicious. This is boozy, spicy, warm. It's very, very, very smooth, like a beautiful smooth blend of a fragrance. And there is that wood at the base, but I find it so intoxicating and so grounding. I love this so much. I feel like this is like the epitome of freaking fall. It's like a fall dessert, you know? I love my YSL perfumes, starting with Lieb. This one is a beautiful, crowd-pleasing, confident, bold, girl boss type of fragrance. It opens up and it's very, very lavender musky. And it's almost a little sharp, but not quite. I feel like the petitgrain does add a level of freshness alongside those juicy citrus notes. It's so beautiful. As you get more down to the fragrance, you get more of the orange blossom, you get the vanilla, but overall, It is very aromatic and it's just very edgy to me. Like, I love this. I think Lieb stands for free, and I really truly get that within the fragrance. This one is perfect for dates, but also perfect for special occasions and like very big events. This means business, okay? And you're always gonna get a compliment. Easy. Then if you enjoy Lieb, but you want something that focuses more on the vanilla, more on the orange blossom, and less on that really musky, heady type of lavender, I feel like you would enjoy more so the Intense. This one definitely is more of like a sexy date night type of fragrance. For me, I love both, but a lot of people do like seem to favor this one. Then if you're looking for something more clean, powdery, and fresh, this one, the Platine, is for sure the one for you, the YSL Lieb Platine. Now I will say it doesn't have as much vanilla as the Intense, of course, but it also doesn't have as much of the sharpness as the original. So if you don't like the lavender sharpness of the original, there's still a lot of lavender present, but it's more of like that clean, refreshing type of lavender. It's very, very beautiful. Also super easy to wear for like every day, for at the office. Then for me, YSL Mon Paris kind of feels like a fizzy soda with chunks of strawberry in it and then grounded and made a little bit more mature with patchouli. It's very jammy, but also has that fizzy effervescence to where I do feel like it kind of reminds me of a fizzy soda with those fruit chunks. It's so delicious, and this again, great for the office, great for every day. Could make a beautiful signature scent. I love Black Opium, but I love Le Perfume more, and I also have that one, which was kindly gifted to me from the brand. This to me is delicious. It opens up very bright and juicy coming from the pear. But as it dries down, the creamy vanilla in this fragrance, which I find super addictive, truly makes this fragrance one of my favorite vanillas in my whole entire collection. I do have to say, I don't get a good amount of coffee, but this overall is so much smoother than its sister. I feel like I need to expand my Valentino perfume collection because all I have are the Born in Romas, but I'm also not mad at that. This one is the original, and it's fruity, woody, warm, just absolutely delicious, almost candy-like, and it's perfectly balanced from the cashmere wood, the cashmere and the jasmine tea note. So good, you guys. This is a must-have. Out of all of them, it's definitely my favorite. Then we have the Intense, which is more of like a deeper, darker, more mature version. This one really hones in on that bourbon vanilla, and it's super sexy and intoxicating. I also love Coral Fantasy. It's a fruity, musky, woody fragrance. I love this one because the cedar doesn't go too masculine. It still feels very girly, very flirty, and this one to me smells very friendly. Like, I love this one for summer. It gives like nice girl vibes, like Girl Next Door, Meet the Parents kind of deal. Coral Fantasy is also really pretty because you could dress it up, dress it down. This one is very floral heavy to me, and sometimes it's a little too sharp to my nose, but it's pretty. Then we have the Travels of the original and the Intense. I always get these two mixed up. From Giorgio Armani, I have Acqua di Gioia, which is more of like a citrus, minty fresh fragrance with hints of brown sugar, adding a little bit of sweetness. And Ocean di Gioia, which is more of like an aquatic, refreshing. This one also has some citruses, but also some white florals, and it's just a very beautiful fragrance. I think it has a beautiful note of pear and also salt, and everything together, it just reminds me of the most beautiful, crisp and clean ocean air. So this is the one I was saying smells like a better version of ocean air to me personally than I would say salt air. Now, salt air is definitely more realistic to me, but this one just takes out those minerals. It takes out, you know, the seaweed, all that. It's like the prettier version of the ocean, if you will. And last but not least, from Giorgio Armani, I have C, and I honestly feel like C smells so chic. I feel like if you wear this, you are probably very stylish, you're probably very put together. I think this one opens up very fizzy. You get that cassis, There's also some black currant, if I'm not mistaken, and also some patchouli that is very, very apparent in the fragrance. This smells so good and rich and expensive. I should have put it in that video I made the other day. I can tell the sun is about to go down, so I kind of need to hurry up here. We also have from Versace, we have Dylan Purple, which is a beautiful shampooey, fruity floral fragrance. Absolutely beautiful with musk at that base. This one also reminds me of God is a Woman. Then we have Dylan Turquoise, which is a little bit more of like, it's still a freshie, but more of like a masculine touch to it for sure. This one is straight feminine. And I can't forget about Versace Crystal Noir. This is a beautiful, mysterious, kind of sexy, dark feminine fragrance. Super duper complimented. I don't wear it enough. Next up is Mugler Angel Nova. Angel Nova for me is a beautiful, fun, floral, fruity fragrance. This for me, I feel like a lot of people are going to either dislike or like. To me, it kind of reminds me of Delina's younger, rowdier, more fun sister, because every time I wear this fragrance, I want to go out and I want to party. I think it's definitely the raspberry that does it for me, because the way a lot of brands do raspberry, it feels like sweeter, more like kind of artificial, you know, like kind of like syrupy sweet. It's so good. There's also lychee, like I said, rose, and wood. So it does kind of feel like you get a little bit of a Delina vibe in here, but it's definitely more youthful, and I feel like more kind of like raunchy, kind of like party girl. I don't know how to describe it. I think if you smelled it, you understand. But this is so beautiful, and the way this attaches to your skin and your clothes, it lasts forever. Then of course, Alien Goddess. This one is a pretty girl fragrance. It has coconut, there is white florals, vanilla. It is so pretty, especially in the summer. Then from Burberry, we have Burberry Her Elixir. This one smells like a grown and sexy, more resinous type of strawberry milkshake. It's delicious, definitely a bit more complex than the original, and definitely more long lasting. Then Burberry Goddess, which is a beautiful vanilla fragrance. It's vanilla lavender. It's very comforting. It is so beautiful. 3 different types of vanilla in this fragrance, along with cacao and ginger. This is so beautiful. There's something so romantic to it, and honestly, it smells like the woman I would want to settle down with. Not even joking. It's so calming, and when I smell it, it reminds me of home. I don't know why. It's just so beautiful. Then my 2 Jo Malones, I have Scarlet Poppy, which I literally just got, so I'm not going to talk about yet, but this is super exciting. And also Jo Malone's Sakura Cherry Blossom, which is bright, it's fizzy, it is bubbly in the opening. I would say more so bubbly, bright, citrusy. It dries down. Of course, you get the Sakura Cherry Blossom, but then also some rose. And at the base, it's musky, woody. Still kind of maintains that bubbly quality the whole way through. The sun was going down, so I added a light, but next up is Viktor and Rolf's Flower Bomb. This one is sweet, floral, patchouli, and I love it. I really like this one too for like dates. I think it's so cute, and I know a lot of people already own this fragrance, but I don't care. This was sent to me very kindly from the brand, and I'm so happy to have it. I will be using it. Don't laugh at the one I bought myself and the like size difference, okay? Because these are very expensive, okay? This is Ruby Orchid, and I did get the small bottle. I did do that, but I feel like it's okay. It's justified. I have a big collection. If I didn't, I'd probably get a bigger one. But anyway, this is very unique and very interesting to my collection, because not only does it have a beautiful note of peach, it also has that peach vine. So it opens up with this really cool greenness and this fruity quality. As it dries down, you get more of the vanilla, and it's super syrupy and very delicious. So both I really love. This one more for like summer, this one for like year-round date nights. From Jimmy Choo, I got I Want You, which is a beautiful peach fragrance. I even bought this for my mom because I loved it so much, as well as I Want You Forever, which is more of like a dark, deep cherry fragrance with a bit of freshness. This one I've been trying to love, but honestly it hasn't Sorry, I had to burp. It hasn't been getting that much attention from me lately, and I'm debating decluttering even though I really like it. I have my eyelashes. I have eyelash number 1, which is a beautiful spicy vanilla. This one I love. It has a soft, warm texture that I just cannot get over, and it also has little hints of cacao. Absolutely delicious. I wish I got the red berries a little bit more, but nonetheless, this is so beautiful and it lasts on your skin so long. It's so good. Number 2 is not my favorite. This one is more of like an incensey, woody, spicy type of fragrance, but if you're into that, I do think you'd like this. It's just not my favorite. You also do pick up some citrus in this fragrance as well. It definitely gives like Vampire Diaries kind of vibes. Eyelash number 3, this is the newest one. I just did a full review and I love it. I just wish it was a little bit stronger, but I'm trying to be open-minded and positive and hope that as it sits for longer, it will get stronger. From Nest, I have Indigo Eau de Perfume and also Golden Nectar. Golden Nectar is more of like a floral, sweet, powdery fragrance. It kind of reminds me, I'm not gonna lie, of like Laffy Taffy, but the banana one, I don't know if that sounds like stupid, but like that's how I feel. That's kind of what I think of every time I smell this fragrance. And this one is so cool. This one is like a green type of like interesting, cool fragrance. Like this is not where you're trying to wear a fragrance to impress. It's more so when you're trying to wear a fragrance to smell very interesting and good for yourself. This, I love, love, love it. Like I can't get enough of it. It also has some fruity touches, a little bit of freshness. Overall, this is just stunning, and I would 100% recommend this before I recommended this one, just because I feel like this is so unique to my collection. This is like a nice, pretty girl, you know, easy reach fragrance. I was so nervous because I accidentally smashed my 2 cupcakes together, but they're all good. First up is House of Sillage. This one is Passion de l'Amour, and for me, Passion de l'Amour smells like a rich, mysterious, sexy woman. She's beautiful, she's confident, she has dark feminine energy, and she is loaded. This is very expensive smelling. It definitely does give more mature than what I was expecting, but I really do like it. I feel like if I want to smell expensive, this is definitely something I reach for if I want to smell oud, and I think there's patchouli, saffron. This is the perfect fragrance that really takes all those complex notes and makes them more likable. I think this has raspberry and vanilla, and there's something else I'm missing. Let me see. Raspberry, vanilla. What is that fragrance? I think it's the Amorous. I had to look it up because I just could not remember it and it was bothering me, but it has a fresh piney balsamic fragrance with a citrus nuance. So yeah, I really get that within the fragrance as well, and altogether I think it does work. Then Hufflepuff is just a beautiful, easy fragrance to love. It is a gorgeous combination of vanilla, peach, Italian lemon, and creamy, delicious coconut. I love this so much. I do wish it projected a little bit better, but nonetheless, super beautiful for every day. Speaking of vanilla citrusy fragrances, I so want to try, what is it called? Wonder Woman. That one is on my list. I want that one like real bad. From Dolce & Gabbana, y'all know I've been loving Devotion, beautiful citrus vanilla fragrance. So creamy and yummy. Then L'Imperatrice, which is a beautiful fruity, aquatic, watery type of fragrance. This smells like fresh, watery fruits. Like it's so tasty, perfect for spring and summer, more so summer. This one also has rhubarb, kiwi. It's just so good. Yes, this is so refreshing on a hot day. I love it. Then this one is completely opposite. The only one is more of like a warm, ambery, sweet, powdery fragrance. It opens up and there's a lot of citrus, and you also get coffee, caramel, and vanilla. And there's more. At the base, you get this gorgeous, sexy patchouli that's truly grounding the fragrance. And again, I think patchouli just works so well when it's surrounded by sweet, ooey gooey, delicious gourmands. And my 2 Lancome fragrances, starting with Lancome Idole Aura. This is a beautiful, salty vanilla fragrance. You can't go wrong for the summer. This one though, I feel like Idole Aura is nice, but it's a little sharp for me. So this one has 3 different types of roses, popcorn, and also caramel. And while I do like it, especially when I smell it on myself, like I think it's nice, I feel like sometimes it's a little too sharp for my nose and it can tend to give me a headache at times. So I've also had that happen with the date I told y'all, and sometimes it's almost a little like soapy, sharp rose, just too much, you know? So I feel like for me personally, I know so many people love this fragrance, but I would say it's just okay. Then my 2 Dior's, this one is beautiful for date nights. I feel like this one is a sweet vanilla floral fragrance. Dior Hypnotic Poison is so pretty, but I do also get that Play-Doh reference for sure, unfortunately, but I'm still gonna rock it. Then we have something completely different. This one is Dior's J'adore d'Eau. I'm probably saying that so wrong. And this is one of my favorite, don't laugh or judge, it's one of my favorite sleep scents. It just reminds me of clean linen, like it's so fresh and floral. There's a bit of sweetness, a little bit of a green feel. It just smells like the most put together person on planet Earth. In my defense, this was a gift from a girlfriend, so I kind of feel like don't judge me too hard for putting this on before bed, because maybe if I bought it with my own money, I wouldn't. But low-key, I feel like I still would. Then my Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. This is such a beautiful, luxurious, sunscreeny type of scent. This one is so pretty. And I also have the body oil. If you don't want to spend the money for the perfume, I would recommend go ahead and just start with the body oil and see if that goes ahead and scratches your itch. Then Ariana Grande, I have Cloud, which we all know and love. This is very beautiful. Baccarat Rouge 540, but sweeter, and it doesn't smell as mature. This is beautiful. Then Ariana Grande's Cloud Pink. This one is very similar to Cloud. It just opens up with those beautiful pink fruits, but quickly those dissipate and you're left with a more creamy, long-lasting cloud fragrance. I still get hints of the fruits, but it's just, you do really lose them, I have to say. And I do believe the coconut in this fragrance, I haven't worn it in a while, is increased in the fragrance. Like you do get it more. Then I have a big bottle of Maud Vanilla, but I can't find it. And also Maud Blush, which is a very beautiful, feminine, fruity, floral fragrance. This one also has raspberry. And I have Ariana Grande's God is a Woman in the Travel. I think I'll just show the rest of my travels at the end. Next, I want to talk about my Arab fragrances. I have Lattafa Kham Ra. This one is very, very spicy, very sweet, and I think it mixes really nicely also with Angel Share or with Vanilla 28. And I mean, the performance on this one is insanely good. Yara Lattafa is a very sweet, girly, frilly fragrance. It definitely reminds me of the color pink, and in my opinion the fragrance is very coconutty, very fruity, sweet, sugary, and very, very, very powdery. Then Al Rahab, this one is Choco Musk. I feel like Choco Musk does in fact smell like cookies, but in the opening it's kind of dusty, I'm not gonna lie, so I do have to kind of get through that, but once I do, I love it, and for the price point, this is amazing. Paid Al Farsan, I hope I'm saying that right. This one is very tropical smelling, you really get the coconut, and there's also something different that I'm getting in this fragrance that I don't get in the other coconut floral fragrances. I'm not sure if it's the way the coconut is done or what, but there's something a little different to the fragrance. Not in a bad way, it's just more unique than others. The Orientica fragrances just exude wealth. These are incredible, starting with Royal Amber. Royal Amber is this really beautiful, fruity, fresh, spicy fragrance in the opening. As it dries down, it becomes more musky and woody. And the whole way through, it just smells so expensive. Then Velvet Gold. This one is also very pretty. I feel like for me, this one exudes kind of like old money. Like that's what it feels like for me. It gives kind of regal vibes. So beautiful. It's sweet. It's floral. There's animalic touches. There's musk. There's spice. Everything about this fragrance I adore. And I just think the reason it's called Velvet Gold is because it's a beautiful, smooth, just well-blended composition of all of those incredible notes. Then for Carf, I did not enjoy this fragrance. I felt that it was too mature on my skin anyway. I also did not like the way that the aldehydes played on my skin. Club de Nuit Imperial from Armaf is beautiful. I think this does remind me so much of Delina, and even though nothing is better than the original, this one is so close, y'all. Like, so close. It's a little scary how close they got this, and it's a fraction of the freaking price. Then if y'all like caramel apples and like with a side of grape, this one is so good, and it's more mature than that. Like even though that one has the caramel, the grapes, the apple, like it's still very complex and very mature and a little sophisticated. I think it has parabalsam, patchouli, suede, amber. Like this one has a lot going on. There's a note of iris. It's just very well balanced, and that is my favorite thing about this fragrance. Beautiful fall staple. Then my Zara collection, Zara Red Temptation Baccarat Rouge 540 dupe. We have Vanilla Vibration, fresh, green, spicy vanilla fragrance, so beautifully done. And this is another one of those interesting cool girl fragrances where you're just gonna smell so intriguing. This is so beautiful and so cool to me. Zara Fields at Nightfall. If you like sandalwood, this is a creamy sandalwood fragrance with hints of praline, and I think it even has jasmine. This is so cozy, so comforting, and so beautiful for the colder months. I love to wear this fragrance to bed, and I think it's supposed to be a dupe for This Is Her, which I've never smelled. I also have Supreme Vanilla, which could have been amazing, but I just couldn't get over the ink note. We have Hypnotic Vanilla, which smells incredibly similar to Dior Poison, Dior Hypnotic Poison, but I don't really get that Play-Doh feel too much within the fragrance. And then also Starlight Vanilla, which for me, this was a little too sharp. I went and had a coffee break. Back to the video. So Zara Amber Fusion is also very beautiful. This one is of course amber. It's woody, it's citrusy. It also has like a marine accord. I think it's like C notes. So it's very interesting, and I do enjoy this one just for like every day sometimes when it's a little bit hotter out. This is really cool, and I think it'd be perfect for like a picnic date. I think it'd be beautiful. I don't know if you guys remember, but at the beginning of the video when I was talking about Oriana, I did say I had a Zara dupe, and this is Velvet Shadow. This is citrusy. This is marshmallowy. There's that powdery feel to it, and I believe the fragrance also has jasmine. This smells very, very similar. My Sabrina Carpenter's, both are very sweet, kind of like fluffy, sugary vibes. This one, much more so. This one is very light. It's perfect for every day. I really get that note of white chocolate, and then also that coconut. There's a little kick coming from the ginger, but overall, this is just a very beautiful, sweet vanilla fragrance you cannot go wrong with. Perfect for layering or perfect for everyday wear, and I love the packaging. Then I feel like Caramel Dream is more of like the sexy, kind of more like date night version. This one definitely has more complexity to it. Yeah, it's a little more expensive smelling. This one has caramelized patchouli, but it opens up with a blast of citrus. I think there's lemon, but there's definitely some type of orange in here. It dries down and you get more of the bitter type of chocolate, the dark chocolate note, which is delicious within the fragrance. but it still maintains that fluffy sweet quality that we do love in the original. So I love this. I think it's the same thing, but just a little more, like, it's just a little bit more sexy. It has a little bit more depth to it, and it feels a little more grown woman, you know? Now moving on to fragrances, where I only have one fragrance from the brand, starting with Glossier You. I love this so much. I wear it to the gym all the time when I'm running errands, and just honestly sometimes on an everyday basis. This, it's supposed to smell like you but better. That's why it's called Glossier You. But this to me is powdery, musky, spicy. There's ambrette in here, which I love, and there's also a gorgeous note of, I think it's iris, something like that, giving it that powdery feel. I really love the pink pepper though. The spice that it gives is so beautiful, and I love the fact that it does have a really beautiful coldness to it. It's cold, fresh, powdery, musky, and clean. I feel like this one kind of reminds me of Juliet Has a Gun, but just more spicy, and I like that. I really do. Why the heck did Addison Rae discontinue her lip products? This is so beautiful. Well, her whole makeup line. I thought she had something good, you know? Narciso Poudre from Narciso Rodriguez is my only Narciso fragrance. This is very beautiful though. It's very makeup-y. It's floral. It's very musky, powdery. And for me, it's kind of makeup-y. Like, it's that type of fragrance you smell, and it does kind of remind you of makeup, but in the most feminine, beautiful way possible. This is so good and such a feminine, musky fragrance. It's also kind of powdery. And if you do like the note of coumarin, I think you may really love this fragrance. I adore it. Next is Chance Chanel Eau Tendre. I hope I'm saying that right. This is really pretty. This is a fruity, musky fragrance. In my opinion, it's definitely more sophisticated than something like Dylan Purple from Versace. That's kind of where my mind goes when I smell this, but think of a more mature, sophisticated, classy version. So it's not quite smelling like shampoo. This is more, you want to be all dressed up and you're just looking elegant, you feel amazing. This is really a fragrance that I think would be beautiful. It has a note of grapefruit. It has, I think it's called quince. So the fragrance in general has more of like a dry, kind of sour feel to it, whereas I feel like the Dylan Purple is more of a shampoo-y, juicy, musky fragrance. So I love both, but I definitely think they're great for different things and different scenarios. This one, yeah, it's just so elegant, so beautiful, but it's also very kind of fresh in a way. Prada Paradox, I love this. I did not love the Intense, and I actually did declutter it, but this one can stay for a long time. I also have Sexual Sugar from Michael. I cannot remember the name. Funny story, this is actually the first perfume, like grown woman perfume, I ever got. This was a gift from a girlfriend, and I think we went into one of those fragrance outlet stores and it was buy one get one free. So of course I got this one free, and I do love it. It's very sugary for sure. I think it's still doing it for me. I do like this one. Escapade Gourmand from Maison Mataha is one of the most scrumptious, delicious, thick, full-bodied vanillas you will ever come across. And if you like the note of burnt sugar, this is a must-have in your collection. I love this so much, and it's so complimented. And honestly, at least try a sample on Scent Split and see if you do enjoy it. Just say Parfums Accident à la Vanille Crème de la Berry. This is delicious. If y'all like foodie gourmands, like literal gourmands, literal food fragrances, this is so good. You're really getting that delicious creamy cheesecake. You're getting that delicious jammy strawberry note, and together it just smells so delicious. It's so creamy. Gosh, this is so delicious and decadent. Now, if you don't like food like gourmands, I think you'd hate this, but if you do, this one is going to be a good time, let me tell you. I also have Nishane 100 Silent Ways, and while I do really like this one, it is beautiful. It's vanilla, it's sugary, it's sweet, it's white floral. You do have that note of peach. I do enjoy the fragrance, but I was expecting so much more just based off of reviews, and there's something with the fragrance that keeps me from absolutely loving it. Do I think it's more refined than something like Black Opium? Yes, but I can't put my finger on what it is that is throwing me off just a tad bit with the fragrance. Mon Guerlain is another one of those classy, elegant fragrances. I mean, Angelina Jolie is the face of the smell, and I understand why, because it does have something mysterious to it. Like, this is beautiful. It is calming, the lavender with the vanilla. It's such a beautiful blend, and that creamy sandalwood at the base just works. The only note in the fragrance I struggle with at times is definitely the licorice. Like, people don't talk about it enough, but the first time I ever smelled it, that is all I got until it dried down. But like, yeah, the licorice note in this fragrance is intense, so if you do not like the scent of licorice, I do not know if you would like this fragrance, but if you could see past it, this is gorgeous. Then Jean Paul Gaultier, I love this one. It is a juicy, sugary pear. It definitely does have some freshness to it for sure, and it also even, I think, has a note of leather, which I think is very interesting in the fragrance. This is a man-eater. Then Dulce by Rosie Jane. I can't believe I only have one fragrance from them. This is so good. I need to get into more. This one is just a beautiful musky vanilla woody fragrance. Absolutely delicious. Very great on its own. And if you do like the next fragrance I'm going to talk about, but you don't want to spend the money, I think this one would be close enough for you to feel like you're not missing out too much. That is Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana. Y'all know my thoughts on this. I think this is one of the best performing vanilla musky fragrances I have ever put my nose on. The way this projects, the way it performs, it is so good. It kind of has like a toffee smell to it, and I love this. I love this so much, y'all. Last but not least, one of my favorite sultry, sexy, beautiful, confident fall fragrances, Cherry Ambition. This one is powdery marshmallow, elevated saffron, a lot of wood going on, that beautiful pink pepper spice. And there's a touch of smokiness that I do get within the fragrance, but it's not too crazy. Of course, too, that beautiful cherry note. I like this because it can go sultry, it can be sexy, it can be bold and dressed up, or it can be more cozy fall vibes, very chill day type of fragrance for everyday wear. Either way, this is gonna be perfect for the colder months. It's just a staple. These two pair beautifully together. Oh, I completely missed my Good Girls. This one is Good Girl Blush. I love this one. It's very feminine and very girly and beautiful. On the dry down, it's a little bit more similar to the original, but definitely a lighter, more just very feminine version. Then we have Very Good Girl, which to me is a little bit more sexy. It does put me in the mindset of the Delinas. It is so good. I think this one has lychee too. Rose, vetiver. This is divine, you guys. Vanilla. You want something similar to Delina once again, but you don't want to spend that price tag. This would be probably one of the next best things, and it's very complimented. Now going through the rest of my travels, I'm not going to talk about them, I'm just going to share them. We have Milk Commodity Bold. This one is so beautiful, definitely more intense than the Expressive. I don't even want to show y'all this perfume because look how busted, but it's a very beautiful woody lactonic marshmallow fragrance that I just truly adore. Oh, I missed one from Skylar. This is Indigo Valley. This smells really great if you guys do like the note of blueberry. Then I have a travel of the Nest Indigo. Shout out to Nest for sending this over. Floral Street Sweet Almond Blossom is one of my favorites. I do want this in a big bottle. It's just a citrusy, fruity, Really nice fragrance. I think it has a note of pomelo, which I really get, along with that almond blossom. And I think, what is it, like passion fruit. From Ellis Brooklyn, I have Florist and also Apple Love, and the scents are like 10 out of 10s. But the projection, the longevity, the sillage is like 5 out of 10. So that's the reason I don't get the big bottles, even though I love, love, love the way these smell. Replica Coffee Break. I love this. It does remind me of downtown, going into one of my favorite coffee shops. Daisy Love, which is such a beautiful romantic fragrance in my opinion. One of my first ever fragrances I bought for myself. I think this might have been the first. Replica by the Fireplace. This one is perfect for fall. This is woody, smoky, nutty. It's definitely spicy as well. And at that base, there's this beautiful vanilla, but it kind of takes a little time to get down to the sweetness. But if you're patient, this is beautiful. Then the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods, you know, this is not super woody to my nose. I don't know if maybe I haven't had it for long enough, I haven't used it enough, but the times I have put it on, I don't feel like it's super woody. Blur Father Figure, my only fragrance from the brand, and this is a powdery, musky fig fragrance. If you like fig, I think you'd love this. If you like musky, powdery, woody fragrances, I think you'd really enjoy it. I would say this could definitely be unisex for sure. And it does look like I love the fragrance more than I do, just because when I first opened it, everything went flying, so don't be deceived. I did not use that much. Love, love, love these. This was actually a recommendation from y'all to get the brand Theodorus Calatini's, so I'm gonna make a full video. I'm not gonna say anything about these. I'm just gonna tell you what I have, and look out for the video. We have Lemon Tart, which I will say is probably my favorite. Vanilla, which is a lovely vanilla cookie patchouli fragrance. Coffee Addict, which smells like straight up sweet coffee, which truly reminds me of a Bath & Body Works candle that I once owned. I love that I said I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying something about every single one of them. Very me of me. And Velvet Chocolate, which this is dark chocolate goodness. But yeah, that was my perfume collection update. I'm sure maybe I missed a few, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go to sleep. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things. It lets me know y'all love the content and helps me be motivated to create more. I love you guys. Bye!